Alright guys, December 1st and it's Friday, so it's fuck around Friday. We just got these new hats shipped in by Dusty. I'll link his email in the description if you guys want any custom hats made. He sent us a couple of them in exchange for a TKO hoodie, just like this. Besides, this is the older one. So I appreciate it, man. These look awesome. He's the one that also makes our decals for us. But he got the SN95 one, and they're fitted hats, and then he made us the TKO resto one. So he can do practically any design you want. So we'll be using him, and when we get the website going, we're going to be selling these hats as well. So I appreciate that, buddy. They came in, they look nice, and your hoodie should be on its way. So it is Friday. Brent ran to Home Depot, and I've been running around all morning shipping hoodies out and all that stuff, because tomorrow we're gonna go on a road trip to New York to visit Bruce to pick up a notch fox body. And Bruce, here's your hoodie right here, buddy. So we got that all taken care of. So yesterday we painted this, as you all saw in the video, red fire, and it's pretty dry now, even though it's really cold. So we can untape it, put all the wiring harnesses back together, all that kind of stuff, get it drivable again. And I went ahead and just do this on here too. So you won't see it though, but if someone ever takes it apart in a couple years, they'll see that. So we did that, completed the body work on the 96 Cobra hood for the car. Just got to prime it, and it's good. The edges were all cracked and stuff like that, so kind of saved this hood. It looks rough right now, but a couple coats of primer and it'll be good as new. So that's pretty mint on that. Had to prime the hood latch support. I forgot to, so I'll do that, and then I'm going to cut that in as well. Do all that. I think we're going to go ahead and just paint it with the fenders on this time. We'll cut them in, of course, and then put them on. That way we're not scratching anything. I don't know. It's just a convertible, so there's not a lot of pieces, so kind of just get it done. We did fill in the side rockers yesterday, Brent did. And we have to sand those down, block them, get them straight, and then prime that as well, which we kind of forgot about. We were going to try to paint this today. That way, when we're gone to New York, it can be drying in the meantime. But we totally forgot about the rockers, so that's not going to happen. So here's Misty right there. And of course, Babs. And then the black Terminator with the parchment gut. And we have Tim's fox body over here that's all stripped down. There's so many layers of paint under here. I think we're gonna have to edge prime it, or not edge prime it. We're gonna have to use paint stripper. There's so many layers of paint. So we're gonna do that. Then we'll, you know, roll it outside. We got it on the dolly so we can roll it or whatever, and do all that because there's so many layers of paint. So right here is the K member, and his bolts are just so rusted in the control arms. And I think these are actually new edge control arms, because he's got new edge spindles and all that in the 5-lug swap, but they are stuck in there. We're going to have to cut the bolts out. So Tim, you're probably going to get new control arms, which I would want anyway, because everything else on the car is going to be mint. So that's what's going on today. Going to prime the bottom of these fenders where we filled in the holes for the side skirts, and do some priming today. So anyway, we'll just catch back up in a little bit, and we'll go from there. Alright, so we got the 96 Cobra all put back together. We're just waiting on the hood latch support that I'm priming right now, and then I got the 96 to 98 OEM Ford Cobra hood in the booth I'm priming. Right now we're just going over the car with 600 and guide coat over the primer areas. We took the GT500 front bumper out of the paint booth, and then we did the GT rear bumper, but with the modified GT500 lower valence, and then the RTR license plate cover with a little grill inside, and we painted that gloss black to match. So it's turned out really nice, and these bumpers are ready to ship. So back to the 96 now. We're doing side skirt delete. We already took care of the spoiler delete, so that's all good. We're getting this car ready to paint. That way, as soon as we get back from New York from the road trip, we can put it in the booth and paint it, and then get it done by next weekend. So right now, it is getting the final touches of the side skirt delete before we end up priming. So we filled it in with some reinforced fiberglass filler in the holes, let that dry for a full day, blocked it down with 80. Then we sanded it all, and then we put Mondo over the whole entire side skirt rocker panel piece, and now I'm blocking it with 36. I'm gonna work my way down all the way to 180, and then I'm gonna prime it. So right now you can see it's getting very smooth. So Rick, if you're watching this, this is a pretty tough situation. You have to kind of lay on your back and do it, so I hope you appreciate the hard work. But yeah, that's just what we got to do. If we put on the lift, the arms would be like in the way and stuff, so you couldn't like get a full stroke when you block. So this is kind of just doing it the other way that, you know, any other way we could. So I'm gonna go ahead and paint. When I paint this, I'm gonna paint all the way to here. That way when you look under here, it's not just right here painted, it's the full rocker panel. So we're gonna remove all these clips because obviously they got ripped off when the side skirts came off. Up there is a little bit pinched and kind of folded right here, so I'm gonna straighten that out with the dolly and hammer, make that straight, fill in all the little pinholes, and rock chips. Some of these had pinholes from the previous body work that it's had and the paint job it had, so filling all that stuff in now. And then we're gonna paint it the red fire instead of the laser pink or laser red. And this car's gonna look very nice. The 03 Cobra machined wheels, the tan gut and the tan hat. That red fire is really gonna pop. especially with the spoiler delete and side skirt delete. Now a lot of you all are probably thinking, ew, why would you want to do side skirt delete? Honestly, a lot of you guys, if you saw this in a picture and we didn't tell you we did the side skirt delete, you won't even notice. So it's honestly, and I took my 95 Cobra to Mustang Week 2016 with no side skirts because I painted them like a couple nights before and they weren't dry in time, and no one even noticed that I didn't have side skirts on mine. Now I did have the holes, yes, obviously, but no one even noticed unless I told them. They're like, oh man, I didn't notice that. So it's not that noticeable. Yes, it is different. Yes, it kind of looks like it, you know, it's not as low to the ground. It's kind of looks like it's a little lifted, but like I said, 80% of you guys, if you looked at the picture and we did a walk around, you wouldn't even notice that there weren't any side skirts. But it's just different, you know, you have to do something different nowadays. Everyone, you know, copies off of everyone off of Instagram and the internet and stuff like that. So just doing a little different. Rick wanted to do that and we said hell yeah, so we support it. And like I said, most people won't even notice, so people that really are into the SN95s will notice. And you know, we did it right, filling the holes. It's not like we just ripped the side skirts off and there's holes getting filled with mud and all that kind of stuff and debris, and they're gonna rust it out. So yeah, can't even really tell that we did not pull the engine to do the engine bay. Now we did not paint this firewall piece right here at the tip of my finger, but as you can see, you can barely even notice that. I mean, so it's not like it was a yellow engine bay and we try to do it white, you know. So it turned out great. I like it. What do you think about the engine bay, Brent?
I wish the engine was a little bit nicer, but actually it turned out really good. All the wiring harnesses went together really well, and it looks awesome.
Yeah, I wanted to paint the intake black like we always do with the red little stripes, but Brent said that's too much time. So sorry, Rick. I was all for it, but
if we were going to do it, we need to do the...
Yeah, we'd have to do the valve covers, we'd have to do the crossover tube, the cam covers, we have to take the hydro boost loose to get that out. So I mean, we're talking about a whole nother week of work, but we would have just done it if we had the time, but we're booked up now, so maybe that's something in the future you want to bring it back, Rick, we can do that. So, was that a gunshot?
No, it just sounded like somebody was here, like shutting a gate on it.
Sound like a gunshot outside. Unloading the lawnmower. Thought it was a gunshot. So anyway, I'm gonna get back in the paint booth and prime the hood, and Brent's working.
Block that lower skirt.
Yep, we gotta block that lower skirt on this side, the rocker panel, but he was working the primered areas with that guide coat, and that's very important if you're priming stuff and trying to get it straight. It's really easy to tell what you've had hit and what you have not sanded, so I'll link that in the description. And if you guys ever need any material questions, just send me an email, you know, what to get, what not to get, and stuff like that. And I'll help you guys out as much as I can. So I guess we'll check back in after we get some more sanding done and get the rockers prepped and ready to prime.